All right, John, and we're set to go now for the Rams. They started the year 3-2, a lot of takeaways, and then they lost to Miami. Could have been 4-2. They have not had a takeaway in the last 5 games, and their only non-loss was a tie against the San Francisco 49ers, and Jeff Fisher wants to change all that today.
Well, Dick, and you look at the Arizona Cardinals, always good in the Phoenix area early in the year. The Cardinals 4-0 to start the year, playing good teams. We watched him in New England beat the New England Patriots, but 0-6 since, averaging only 12 points a game. That's not good enough.
All right, the Cardinals have won the toss. They have deferred, so Chris Gibbons is back to return the opening kickoff. As the Rams will get the ball first, Jay Feely getting this game underway. And Gibbons, the rookie from Wake Forest, will take it at the end of the end zone, and the Rams will start from the 20-yard line. Sam Bradford coming off a subpar game against the Jets and is really not lit it up, John, either against these Cardinals in his 5 games.
Well, you look to the last game in week 5 when they played each other, only 7 completions for Sam Bradford. Out of those 7, 2 were touchdowns, though, and it was good enough for a 17-3 victory.
And we'll have a penalty, and the Cardinals showing blitz got very close and even crossed the line.
Encroachment, defense number 79.
And an encroachment penalty
making contact with an offensive
called
lineman.
against David Carter.
Penalty, first out.
So the Rams, well, now that they know that Amendola is in there today, they have a few more impact players for an offense that needs it.
But they're going to trust Steven Jackson. They're going to ride him today. He's a warrior. Jeff Fisher knows it. They're going to lean on their best player, and that's Steven Jackson at the running back position.
On 1st and 5, they lean on Jackson to start this game, and he'll have a first down as he gets out to the 33-yard line, picking up 8 yards. Now the Cardinals defense, this is the side of the ball that is the obvious strength of this team. They have impact players, John, in every area.
Yes, they do on all 3 levels. Darnell Dockett in the middle. He'll wreak havoc. Darrell Washington would have a consideration in my mind for Defensive Player of the Year if it were voted on right now. And Patrick Peterson becoming more of a force at the cornerback position each and every week.
Chris Gibbons is in motion. First down. And on the end around, here is Gibbons. And Gibbons trying to cut inside, and a good tackle made that time by Sam Acho. And right now, let's go to the 3rd member of our team, Jennifer Hale, on the Amendola appearance today. Jennifer.
Well, Dick, Danny Amendola would not take no for an answer. He was one of the first guys out here fighting to prove to trainers he could manage the pain in his foot and play through it. If you notice, he is still limping. I talked to Coach Jeff Fisher pregame, and he said because of that, he will limit Amendola's snap count to protect him from himself. But he said, boy, you should have seen Sam Bradford's face when trainers gave him the green light. The smile was so big, he thought his face was going to crack, Dick.
And he'd like him in the lineup at some point, too. 2nd down and 9. And a play action. Rolling out is Bradford, and he completes the pass close to midfield to Matthew Mulligan, the tight end, and a pickup of 14 and a first down at the 48 for the Rams.
And this is one of the things you realized about Sam Bradford right away. A tremendous play-action passer, can get outside of the pocket and can do so going to his left equally as good as going to his right. Very proficient at going to his left, squares his shoulders, makes an excellent, accurate throw. Good start for the St. Louis Rams.
Both teams really aching for points. The Rams have averaged only 16 in the last 5 games. Here is Jackson, and Jackson edges his way into Cardinal territory, and a gain of 2. And here comes Amendola into the game.
This was prior to the game. It was Jeff Fisher, their general manager Les Snead, and the persuasive Danny Amendola. And his wide receiver coach is a happy man. He was getting loose before the game. You do see a little limp in that gait, and we'll see. Sometimes adrenaline is the best pain medication. We'll see if that adrenaline can take him through today.
Well, he's in there now, and he was in a walking boot earlier in the week. They'll run it to Jackson, and Jackson gets tripped up. Looked like he might have gotten more, and it was Darrell Washington, who's having a phenomenal year, holds Jackson to a gain of 3 as the Rams on their first possession are at the 46 of the Cardinals.
The The interesting thing right now, there's Darrell Washington, the outstanding middle linebacker. On third down, they bring Danny Amendola off the field. And you see the Rams very proficient on the first drive of the game. 37 points, touchdowns in their last 3 games. The Cardinals, an excellent defense that starts well.
So something's got to give perhaps here on third down and 5. 4 wide receivers for the Rams. Bradford. And overthrows Brandon Gibson. So the Cardinals hold on the first possession of the game. And 4th down coming up.
Sam Bradford had what he wants right there. They're bringing the blitz, bringing the pressure. He's got the one-on-one with Brandon Gibson. An inaccurate throw, which you've been seeing a little too much of from Sam Bradford, who's known for his accuracy.
And here's Peterson, who returned 2 punts for touchdowns against the Rams last year. Johnny Hecker, the rookie from Oregon State, will kick from the 40. Hecker trying to keep it in the field of play, and they do, as the punt is caught at the 8-yard line. So Ryan Lindley begins his starting career as a quarterback when we return for the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals with their first possession of the game, and Ryan Lindley, first career NFL start and the 6th quarterback used by the Cardinals since the Kurt Warner era. And Beanie Wells back in action on the carry. Wells returning after missing 7 games with a turf toe injury, starting this one. So there's the Cardinals, and the biggest, I guess, focus today, John, has to be the protection of this rookie QB.
Well, plain and simple, they've got to be better. You know, you can talk about the quarterbacks. If they don't have time, they can't be successful. Ken Wisenhunt, when we asked him to win, he said, we got to block their front. Very simple.
9 sacks the last time against Kevin Cobb. And on the delay, sort of an awkward handoff, but the Cardinals will accept it, and Beanie Wells gets the first down out to the 20-yard line, picking up 7.
You hit it, partner. You said an awkward handoff. A little bit, Ryan Lindley turned the wrong way, but he got it done, and more importantly, Beanie Wells and that offensive line that we said the onus was, they did. And they've been doing a good job run blocking. It's the pass protection that's been the problem.
First down and 10 at the 20. Play action, and here's Lindley, and he passes to Hausler, the tight end. And Hausler, with the reception, gets 7 yards. Finnegan, the very outstanding cornerback, making the tackle on Hausler. Rams defensively, they are tough. They have the ability to apply pressure, and of course all those sacks the first meeting.
And their pressure comes from the edge. Chris Long and Robert Quinn. Now usually pressure translates into turnovers. It's been 5 weeks since this defense has a turnover. That's unheard of in this league. They need one, and they need one badly.
2nd down and 4. Hand off to Larod Stevens-Howling, who comes into the game, and he gets nothing. Howling coming off a sensational game against the Falcons. And coming in, Chris Long into the huddle. Long with 7 sacks. In fact, these defensive ends are right at the best in the NFL. 4 quarterback sacks.
There's no doubt about it. And Nick, this is the situation that gets really tough for a rookie quarterback. 3rd down in this league is when you see all the amoeba defenses, people moving around. They're going to try to not paint a cut and dry picture for Ryan Lindley. They're going to try to muddy it up with movement. We'll see what they give him, and we'll see how he handles it.
Larry Fitzgerald came in motion, then went back on 3rd and 3. The pass caught by Fitzgerald, and he'll get the first down just shy of the 40-yard line. Fitzgerald with a franchise streak of 128 consecutive games with a catch. Had only 1 against Atlanta for 11 yards. Beats this with a 12-yard play.
Well, it starts with protection. They get a little chip from their tight end. Here comes the other guy. 3 guys on Chris Long, and then a quick throw to Larry Fitzgerald. And you want to make the fans happy, throw the ball to Larry Fitzgerald.
Mostly it'll make Larry Fitzgerald happy. Here's Beanie Wells in the game, and the pass overthrown. Fitzgerald stopped his route. And I guess that's going to be some of the wrinkles and problems we'll have with the rookie quarterback.
We've already seen it on the handoff early. And Larry Fitzgerald sees one thing. Ryan Lindley sees another thing. But good on Larry Fitzgerald. He kind of points to himself. And I'm sure some of that, whether it was his fault or not, takes some of the pressure off the rookie quarterback. Larry Fitzgerald has big shoulders.
Yeah, that's why he's a team leader. Doesn't think of the numbers for himself. Second down and 10. Stevens howling is checked back in the game. They fake to him and Lindley downfield, and the catch is made. It'll be a first down to Andre Roberts. Forward progress gets him to midfield and a pickup of 17 yards. Make it 11, and a first down.
And you look at this little play action, going to hold the linebackers, but then an accurate throw. And this is what's been ailing the Arizona Cardinals. Not much separation, good coverage by Cortland Finnegan, but a well-placed ball by Ryan Lindley, who's handled himself well.
So Wells is back in. They seem to be alternating running backs, the Cardinals, on this first series. First down midfield, and here is Wells, and Wells picking up about 4 yards. So Beanie Wells, and a flag is down. Tony Correnti, referee, and his staff today.
Holding, offense number 76.
And a holding penalty called against Nate Potter,
First down.
the rookie left tackle from Boise State, and that will set back the Cardinals. But Wells, coming off a franchise record 228 yards last year against these Rams. So Cardinals more than happy to get him back in there.
Dick, you mentioned the rookie left tackle. They also have a rookie right tackle. Very unheard of that you have two starting right tackles. You couple that with the starting rookie quarterback, and I think the St. Louis Rams are licking their chops.
Especially with those ends we talked about. And there is movement in the line, and offside penalty will go against the Rams. And it looks like Robert Quinn.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 94. Stepped in the neutral zone, causing an offensive lineman to false start. 5-yard penalty.
So they lost 10 on the hold, and they get 5 back on the neutral zone infraction.
Possibly licking his chops a little too much. He said, I got a rookie left tackle. I'm coming after a rookie quarterback. Got a little anxious.
Wait till we bring the dishes out. Little patience. First down now and 15. Up the middle, Lindley completes it to Hausler. And Hausler to the 45 of the Rams. They'll be 5 yards shy of a first down. Craig Dahl, the strong safety on the tackle. So Lindley 3 of 4 for 29.
You watch Jake Potter. Ken Wisenhunt said it. We're going to give them help, but sometimes they got to stand up on their own. And here comes the help, but Jake Potter doing a nice job. Quinn had 3 sacks last time these guys met. And when you give quarterbacks time, they'll find the open receiver. Ryan Lindley does.
Lindley replaced Skelton in the second quarter last week against Atlanta with the Cardinals up 13-0. Here's Beanie Wells back in there, and he's met by the middle of the line. Kendall Langford in particular, and a 1-yard pickup and another penalty flag down.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 68. They're jumping into a pile of players trying to peel a player off. This is a dead ball foul.
Adam Snyder in one of those penalties that put more gray hairs on the head of Ken Wisenhunt.
See Adam Snyder. He's going to come in at the end, trying to be aggressive, but you got to be smart. And he really didn't hit anyone, but the league has really tried to clean that up. The unnecessary hits, and Adam Snyder a little overzealous early on.
And you may say he should know better in his 8th year. Winding down to 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Each team has had the ball once. It'll be 3rd down and 18 on the 42. And the pass short, crossing pattern to Fitzgerald. He'll be tackled, and he'll be about 12 yards shy of the first down, and another late flag is thrown. Fitzgerald got 6 on that one, but let's see what the flag is all about.
I believe it's going to be a late hit on the Rams.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 27.
That's Quentin Michael, former Eagle, and the free safety. And that's going to burn Jeff Fisher a little bit. Or a lot.
Now that one deserved a penalty as well. That's unnecessary. And what happens, Dick, I've been in these before, in these NFC West type games, divisional games, they get chippy. And they get chippy right from the start, but you can't do it. That's selfish as a player to do that to your team. You just gave them a first down.
And a 3rd and 18. Didn't make it on 3rd down, and now they have a first down deeper in Ram territory. And here's Lindley's pass to Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald inside the 25. No question where they want the rookie quarterback to go to early on. Finnegan and Dahl make the play in a gain of 13.
And they've had a steady dose of runs, so he sells the hard fake. And again, quick throws. It's a theme. Your offensive line struggling. Throw the ball quickly, and if you're going to throw it, you might as well throw it to one of the best receivers in the National Football League in Larry Fitzgerald.
Second catch of the game for Fitzgerald, and a first down on the 24 of the Rams. Here's Wells. And so far, the Rams have done a good job of stopping the run, and there you see the chippiness emerge again after the play is over. 2 yards on that play.
What happens in these divisional games, you play these guys a lot, and so it tends to get personal. I used to tell my teammates all the time, it's always personal, but you can't let it get personal on the field and hurt your team. And you're starting to see some of that. It's good if you can control those emotions.
That's why you were a coach on the field, Mr. Lynch. 2nd down and 8. Lindley 6 of 7 for 59 yards. Now 7 for 8. Roberts with the catch inside the 10. Tries to get the ball over the line and can't. Down by contact at the 1.
The runner.
Janoris Jenkins made the stop, preventing the touchdown, but 21 yards and the Cardinals in business.
You see that bunch formation. That's to muddle things up, and Andre Roberts runs the slant route underneath. The attention goes to Larry Fitzgerald, and another accurate throw by Ryan Lindley, throwing the ball on the dime.
You know, John, we were told he has the ability to go deep. He's only thrown for 80 yards, 7 of 8, but his pinpoint passing effective early on short.
He can go short as well.
We've seen it. 1st and goal from the 1. Here is Wells. And Wells doesn't get there. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Jamel Cudjoe leading the way after no gain.
Just critical for a team that in their 6-game slides only been averaging 12 points a game to get the ball in the end zone. For confidence for a rookie quarterback for this team, not a field goal, but get it in the end zone.
15th play of the drive coming up. 2nd and goal at the 1. Here's Wells. Touchdown. And Chris Long has to be pushed away by an official. Tough run here by Wells for the score.
Real tough running, because he ran into a wall of St. Louis Rams, but he kept those legs churning. And those legs, you see Chris Long throwing a little blow, but let's go back to that touchdown. Beanie Wells should have fresh legs because he's been on this designated IR with a turf toe injury. His legs should be fresh, and they are.
And that is only his first touchdown of the year. Remember, he was hurt early on, so already paying dividends for the Cardinals, giving them the 6-0 lead on an impressive drive. Jay Feely is on for the extra point. But remember, the personal foul call against Michael really gave the Cardinals new life. And a flag is down in the end zone, so a penalty flag and several thrown.
Too many players on defense. This penalty's been declined. We'll retry from the 2-yard line.
Too many men on the field, and so they will retry that. And this is the longest drive of the year for the Arizona Cardinals as far as yardage is concerned. Beanie Wells getting the touchdown and getting 15 yards on 6 carries.
They're going to assess that penalty on the kickoff.
Yes. 91 yards. And Lindley, very effective with the short pass, 7 of 8.
He looked good. He looked really good doing it. Looked confident, to be sure.
Talk about a confidence builder. That drive should do it for Lindley, at least for the next series. Cardinals lead it 7-0. Lindley, touchdown in his first series as a starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Back here in Glendale, Dick Stockton, John Lynch, and Jennifer Hale. Cardinals leading 7-0. And Chris Gibbons is back deep. And another deep kick by Feely. And St. Louis will start from the 20-yard line. Cardinals looking to end a 6-game losing streak. And yes, it is a chippy game between these teams. And back here in Glendale, and the Rams with a first down at the 20-yard line. Danny Amendola had come on the field, now back on the sideline. Sam Bradford, who had 44 attempts against the Jets for only 170 yards. Trying to turn it around. And on the play action, Bradford with a pass and thrown out of bounds intended for Lance Kendricks, the tight end. And for a game break, here's Patrick O'Neill.
Dick, thanks. 49ers Saints. Well, this is why Jim Harbaugh started Colin Kaepernick. Untouched 7-yard touchdown run, 7-0 49ers. The Saints in the red zone right now. And you can debate the decision to start him, but not his poise. Impressive start for Kaepernick and the Niners. Dick and John.
You're not going to get a debate here. 7-0 49ers. Meanwhile, 2nd and 10. Steven Jackson, running back, goes out wide to the right. Empty backfield, and they go to Chris Gibbons. Gibbons with a head of steam, and Chris Gibbons is knocked out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 45, and it was Kerry Rhodes, the free safety, but after Gibbons on a 25-yard play, a screen after Jackson moved out to the right.
Chris Gibbons is an explosive player, averaging 20 yards per reception, and it's because of this. It's because of speed and the elusiveness. Look at that speed. Yes, Sam Bradford, he said, this is a guy, I go back and I just throw it as far as I can throw it and watch him go. Nice block by Roger Saffold there.
First down at the 45, and here is Jackson, and Jackson will be stopped for no gain. Gibbons, by the way, caught a 51-yard touchdown pass from Bradford, who had only 7 completions in the first meeting between these teams.
Sam Bradford, you know, we met with the Rams that have been on a skid of their own, but a very confident team. They feel like they have a plan and they're getting there. They know they might be short a little talent right now, but Sam Bradford says at the same time, when we execute, we can play with anyone. They really fed off that San Francisco tie a couple weeks ago as an example of that.
Second and 10. Bradford gets some time. It all breaks down, and finally caught up Sam Acho with his 4th sack of the season. And actually, Bradford picks up about a yard, so no sack for Acho, but a good defensive play.
Bradford trying to get the ball downfield. The hard sell on the play action, but good coverage by Adrian Wilson. Sam Bradford makes what he can out of it, gets a yard. This crowd's going to get loud on 3rd down.
Danny Amendola checks in. Slot left for Amendola on 3rd down and 8. And going downfield and overthrowing Brandon Gibson. And it was Darrell Washington putting on some fierce pressure on Bradford, creating 4th down and a punting situation.
And really what they did, they brought Amendola in, but only to use him as a decoy. They're going to fake the quick screen to Amendola to the flat, and then the double move to Brandon Gibson. Kerry Rhodes does a great job of ranging from the middle of the field. And again, an overthrow by Sam Bradford.
Johnny Hecker will kick, and Patrick Peterson goes back deep for the Cardinals. Peterson will field this at about the 6. Did he get blocking? Peterson almost broke a tackle by Craig Dahl, and he would have been off, and ends up with a 26-yard return. Patrick Peterson. 24 seconds remain in the first quarter, and Peterson very nearly broke one. 7-0 Cardinals. Will be right back.
Well, on film, this just appears as another tackle, but that's Patrick Peterson in space. A terrific play by Craig Dahl, because if not, this guy, heck of a punter, he's not tackling Patrick Peterson, though. Johnny Hecker says, thank you, Craig Dahl.
From the 31, here is Beanie Wells, who scored the touchdown for the Cardinals, picking up 2 yards. And that should be the end of the first quarter. And so the Rams, who had not trailed in the first quarter in the last 3 games, find themselves down 7-0. And that's the end of the first quarter. Arizona 7, St. Louis nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages.
That is the end of the first.
Look from behind the Cardinal bench as we start the second quarter here in Glendale. Cardinals leading the Rams 7-0. It'll be second down and 8 from the 33. LaRod Stevens Howling is in at running back, and Howling moves into the slot to the left as a possible receiver, and the pass is intercepted. And it's Janoris Jenkins who will run it in for the touchdown. They wanted to go to Howling. Ill-advised. A 36-yard return by the rookie from North Alabama, Janoris Jenkins. And the Rams have come within 1.
Well, Janoris Jenkins does a tremendous job of, all right, you're going to throw quick. I'm going to jump the route quick. And he takes the ball to the house. Ryan Lindley locks in, feeling a rhythm. But that's the difference between the National Football League and college football. These guys can break on a football in a moment's notice quickly. And when they do, bad things happen. Great play by Janoris Jenkins.
And here's a guy who was a victim of 4 touchdowns in the 3 games after the last game against the Arizona Cardinals. Greg Zuerlein with the extra point to tie the game. So what a turnaround for Jenkins, who had been slumping. His second interception of the year. 36-yard return for the score. And there is the takeaway the Rams have lacked. So the first takeaway in the last 6 weeks, Jenkins intercepting Lindley and running it in for the touchdown. If they had gone 6 games without a takeaway, that would have been an NFL record. And the kick will be down by William Powell in the end zone, and the Cardinals and Lindley will come out again in a 7-7 game early here. Only 8 seconds elapsed here in the second quarter.
Look at the first drive for Ryan Lindley. Really established a good rhythm, good accurate throws. I think great play calling by Ken Wisenhunt and offensive coordinator Mike Miller. Short, quick throws. And one thing that Ryan Lindley will learn, you see the touchdown by Beanie Wells, is that you got to be quick and you got to be decisive. You can't float the ball in this league or it goes the other way.
Lindley with a little more mustard on this, and that's off the hands of Rob Hausler. Incomplete, bringing up second down and 10.
Here is that pick by Janoris Jenkins, and really a tremendous play. Showed him one thing that he was playing off, jumped the route in the flat, takes it to the house.
Lindley, who, according to Ken Wisenhunt, really faced a real test, and he thought passed with the hostile environment against a good team last week in Atlanta. And the one thing about him, he said, is he's in command. You can tell when he speaks in the huddle. Second down and 10. William Powell, and he'll be knocked back for a loss by Jolon Dunbar, the ex-Saint. And speaking about the Saints, after the loss of 2, game break time. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, Jolon's former team have evened things up. Taking on San Francisco, Drew Brees hooking up with the tight end David Thomas on a 6-yard score. 7-7, Saints and Niners as we start the second quarter. Dick and John.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. It'll be third down and long, 3rd and 12 for the Cardinals on their 18. Slant complete to Roberts, and Roberts is tackled well shy of the first down. And 4th down coming up as Quinton Michael puts the clamps on Roberts. Michael committed that personal foul penalty that allowed the Cardinals to extend their first drive and ended up with a touchdown. So Austin Pettis will go down deep, and Dave Zastudil will kick for Arizona. Line drive kick, and Pettis returning it from the 31. Trying to wend his way, and a flag is down back at the 22. Officials conferring near midfield. Actually, 2 flags.
There are fouls against both teams. Holding offense. Number 56.
That's Reggie Walker.
Also holding receiving team number 32. The St. Louis Rams have taken the option to offset the penalties and replay 4th down.
Here's the second one.
There's Bradley Fletcher grabbing the left shoulder of Justin Bethel. And the other one, as you said, Dick, was on Reggie Walker, and the Rams are going to ask them to re-kick it and try to get better field position. And really a nice job by the Rams defense of settling down. That first drive, all Cardinals, you mentioned Quinton Michael extending it, maybe giving him a little bit of a gift. But if you're Sam Bradford and the Rams, you've got to really seize the momentum. And Jeff Fisher and everybody we talked to said that's a thing that they've had problems with, is seizing that momentum. And if you're Sam Bradford, go score a touchdown right.
Usually the Rams take an early lead and then see it falter as the game goes on. This time they trailed early but got back in there. So now both penalties on the receiving team. So they're going to spot the ball near the 30.
The holding penalty that occurred at the line of scrimmage will be enforced from the 30-yard line to the 20-yard line. First down.
Amidst a bit of confusion here, we're settling it up. And when we come back, I guarantee you we'll have it right. Well, we're back, and it was first announced that there were flags on both teams. That wasn't the case. Both of these penalties were against the Rams. It was Fletcher, you saw that one, and Josh Hull, 56. Originally they said it was Walker, 56 for the Cardinals. Not the case. So they will start from the 20-yard line, will the Rams. Crowd in full throat as Steven Jackson is pushed back after a gain of 1.
I think both defenses really settling down. You saw Steven Jackson have some early success against this stellar Arizona defense, but now they're starting to stand up, and Sam Bradford's going to have success throwing the football, it looks like, to have success here today.
I mean, last week the Cardinals forced 6 turnovers and still lost to the Falcons. You hardly ever see that. 2nd down and 9. Again, they go to Jackson. And Jackson is tripped up, and it was Patrick Peterson who made the play on Jackson. He gets 3 anyway, but it'll be 3rd down.
And that's what I like about Patrick Peterson, because Patrick Peterson could sit here and say, hey, I'm a cover corner. I'm not going to get involved and get physical, but instead he sticks his head in there, goes low on Steven Jackson and gets him down. Really good play by a really good player, Patrick Peterson.
That's an all-round player right there. 3rd and 5. Isaiah Peed goes in motion. Way to the left. And Bradford never had a chance. And Darrell Washington came in with no resistance and the first sack of the game and his 9th of the year.
Well, you talk about untouched, right up the gut. Sam Bradford, when asked about Darrell Washington, said he's really good. And I bet if you asked him right now, he'd say he's really great, because Darrell Washington been doing this all year long. His 9th sack of the year. He's an inside linebacker. Those are defensive end type numbers. This guy having a phenomenal season.
Interception, 2 forced fumbles, likes to play anywhere, safety, you name it, he's all over the place. And now the crowd revved up as Johnny Hecker will be kicking to Peterson. And Peterson looking for good field position. Will field this at the 35. Good punt that time by the rookie Hecker, 48 yards. (7-7) Cardinals ball. 7-7 the score, still early in the second quarter. Beanie Wells is the running back. Cardinals on their own 35. And here is Wells. And Wells can pound it, but the Rams, led by James Laurinaitis, hold Wells to a 2-yard gain. Well, college football's biggest championship games return to Fox Friday. It's the Pac-12 Championship live in prime time as the 17th ranked UCLA Bruins take on the 8th ranked Stanford Cardinals. Saturday, the Big Ten Championship as 14th ranked Nebraska battles Wisconsin. The Pac-12 and Big Ten Championships only on Fox. 2 big ones coming up. Seems like UCLA and Stanford play every week.
They do.
2nd down and 9 for Lindley. Short drop, pass caught. And let's see if the forward progress gives them a first down. Jeff King on the reception. And it is a first down for the Cardinals. And so Gus Johnson and Charles Davis will be at the mics for both of those games, doing Ironman duty next week for 2 big college games on Fox.
Charles Davis, he's doing more ball games than Dick Stockton. I mean, he's all over the place. He's doing college football last night, in Tampa today.
Versatile, to say the least. Beanie Wells pounds it in for a yard.
Now you watch Ryan Lindley and you hear coaches talk about, when they're talking about quarterbacks, hey, the ball comes out of his hand nice. Well, what's that mean? And it's just something you've got to see. He has a nice, quick release. The ball comes out. It's a tight spiral. He handles himself well. You call that arm talent. He certainly has that. And what he's going to have to get used to in the NFL, as we saw with that series with Janoris Jenkins, is that these guys are really good. And you got to be really precise with what you do.
2nd down and 8. Play action. Pass is caught by Hausler. And Hausler. Tell you what, coming into the game, you don't often see 3rd tight ends. Of course, Heap has been out, but the 3rd leading receiver is Hausler. He grabs this for 28 yards and a first down at the 25.
And one of the things that Larry Fitzgerald said about Ryan Lindley is this guy likes taking the ball down the field. He's not fazed by that interception. That's a confidence throw. He threw that before Hausler was out of his break across the middle of the field, but did so on time with tremendous velocity. Very nice throw by Ryan Lindley.
Good balance by the Cardinals. 11 runs, 13 passes thus far. And a first down out on the end around. Here's Roberts. Roberts with the block from the tight end. Hausler this time as a blocker, and Roberts picks up the first down and more. 13 yards inside the 15 before McIntosh makes the tackle for the Rams.
And some of the play calling in Arizona has come under fire of late. That's a really creative way of running student body left. Larry Fitzgerald blocking outside. Rob Hausler's going to pull. This is just a toss play. The puller comes from Rob Hausler, lined up in the bunch to the right. And Andre Roberts does some good running for the first down.
At the 12-yard line, Cardinals trying to regain the lead. Here's Beanie Wells going outside. Beanie Wells to the end zone. Touchdown. His 2nd of the game.
Beanie Wells, as I said, should have fresh legs And he looks to right here, outrunning Cortland Finnegan to the corner. Now the reason he outran Cortland Finnegan, a tremendous block by Andre Roberts. He goes ahead and gets two, gets Finnegan, then gets Michael. Good execution by the Cardinal offense.
Jay Feely makes it 14-7 in favor of Arizona. So the wide receivers and the tight ends doing a good job blocking, and Beanie Wells with a 12-yard touchdown run. His first 2 TDs of the year as the Cardinals lead.
I don't feel like rocking.
Cardinals leading 14-7, and Chris Long disappointed in the way it's gone so far, as Chris Gibbons is back deep. Jay Feely will kick, so the Cardinals score in their first possession, going 91 yards on 15 plays. Then the interception, getting the Rams back in for the score by Jenkins. And then Wells caps the latest one as flag is down as Gibbons runs it out. And there you see the Cardinals trying to tear the ball away. And it was LaRon Byrd, the rookie from Miami, who tried to force the fumble, but there's a flag down after the 36-yard return.
Offside, kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So the lad 5 yards offside against the Cardinals. Bradford getting set to come back to work to try to get the Rams back again. First 3 possessions for the Rams offensively. They score their touchdown defensively. Jeff Fisher, who's told us yesterday, he says, we're better now than we were the last time we played them. But they trailed 14-7. Cardinals scored only 3 in that first meeting. Here's Bradford getting a little rush, and the pass to Chris Gibbons. And Gibbons gets the first down as he goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A pickup of 14 yards.
You see the Rams and Sam Bradford, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, trying to get some rhythm established by going to the no huddle, trying to get some rhythm, trying to get some tempo, and they need it because Sam Bradford has been off thus far today, missed on a couple of throws. They got to get going or the Cardinals going to run away.
Danny Amendola in the slot to the left on first down. And jumping.
Encroachment.
And encroachment against Nick Eason.
Stepped in the neutral zone and contacted an offensive player.
We've had several of these plays so far, John, and none of them have been false starts. They've all been encroachment or offsides on the defense.
Good use of the hard count by Sam Bradford on the road. Not supposed to happen, but doing a nice job with his cadence, and those are yards that you steal. Every yard's valuable.
1st and 5 now at the 48. And timeout called by the Cardinals.
Timeout.
And the first timeout. And time for a game break during this timeout. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, San Francisco's Ted Ginn Jr. muffed a punt, and the Saints recovered and took advantage. Marcus Colston, 10-yard reception from Drew Brees, gave them the lead 14-7. Colston's 56th career touchdown, most in Saints history, moving past Deuce McAllister with that grab. Dick and John.
All right, thank you, Kurt. And interesting with Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota losing today, John. And New Orleans at 5-5, they go to 6-5. What a scramble we have with Washington and Dallas so close to the 500 mark, and even these Arizona Cardinals 4-6.
Absolutely, and I tell you, those Saints, they're coming. We had them last week. Drew Brees playing incredible football, but more importantly, their defense starting to round into shape.
First down and 5 at the 48 after the timeout by the Cardinals. Here's Jackson, flag down. No, check it, it's Darrell Richardson. And Richardson breaks it out to the 40-yard line, picking up 12 and a first down. So the rookie Darrell Richardson in the game for the first time. But the flag thrown shy of midfield.
Illegal motion, offense number 88.
And they call an illegal motion penalty against the tight end Lance Kendricks.
First down.
And you see this theme of just critical penalties. Watch Lance Kendricks coming in motion. And before the snap, he's going forward at the time of the snap. And those are critical mistakes because you get positive yards. Richardson with a nice gain. You think about the last punt return. You got great field position, but it's backed up because of penalties. That puts your offense in a hole.
You're right, John. They had 12 yards on that game. And now it'll be 1st and 10 back on the 43. Bradford. And the pass is knocked down, intended for Gibbons, and it's Michael Adams with a textbook defensive play, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
This is just good coverage by Michael Adams up in Gibbons' face. He's going to press him, ride that hip of his, and then get that right hand in. And that's a well-thrown ball, but just a really good play by Michael Adams on the defensive side.
Interesting, John, 6:26 to go in the half, and Bradford has just thrown 7 passes. Completed 3. Faking right, going deep left, and this one is caught by Danny Amendola, beating William Gay. So Amendola coming back, and you can see a little bit of a limp, but he makes the big catch for a 38-yard play and a 1st down.
And you got to love this. He's going to run what we call a wheel route, and then there's just will at the end of that play. We've seen a couple overthrows, but a guy like Amendola, what he has, he does not the fastest guy, but you put the ball out there, he's going to find a way to go get it. It seems as if he wills himself to go catch that ball. Tremendous football player, and what a lift he gave the Rams today by showing up and saying, put me in the game, coach.
Steven Jackson returns to the backfield, and now the Rams will call their first timeout.
This is their first.
So the Rams with a 1st down at the 19-yard line. Well, this year at more than 70,000 schools at 1,700 events, and through the creation of youth fitness zones across the country, NFL Play 60 has improved the health of millions of American children through the power of play. Visit NFLRush.com to learn how NFL Play 60 could come to your community.
I tell you, I can't tell you how much you respect guys like this. It happens every week, but Amendola, he was out of this game, listed as doubtful, shows up today, as Jennifer said, begged his head coach, put me on the field, and you're seeing it pay off with that catch. Huge play for the Rams.
Amazing, was in a walking boot late in the week with the foot injury. Now a 1st down, and Jackson straight ahead and bulls his way inside the 15, picking up 6 yards. Paris Lennon making the tackle. So the big 38-yard pass to Amendola, trying to set the Rams up, trailing by a touchdown.
And this is what Jeff Fisher is starting to see, and why he says we got to get him in more. You watch Steven Jackson. He's going to make contact with Paris Lennon, but then it's those 4 extra yards. That's what separates a Steven Jackson from most running backs in this league.
2nd down and 4 from the 13. They'll go to Jackson again. And Jackson with a 1st down rides several defenders inside the 10 and gets 7 more.
And he's just moving the piles. And he said, look, I understand how offensive coordinators think. They want the big chunks. And running's not always sexy. You might get 1, you might get a -1. But if you keep doing it, things like this, you wear down a defense. And Steven Jackson's as good as that as anyone. Contact, but he's pushing the pile for another 1st down.
And you know, the other thing he told us, he says, you know, in this game you got to answer the opposition scores, and he's trying to do that right here. 1st and goal at the 7. They fake to Jackson, pass up the middle, and it is intercepted by Peterson. Patrick Peterson. And it'll be a touchback. Austin Pettis was the target for Bradford, but Peterson picks it off, his 4th interception of the year.
And this one's on Sam Bradford all the way because there's separation, but he's late with the throw, and you can't be late with a guy like Patrick Peterson. He's too fast. He runs a 4.240. Sam Bradford had the separation. It needs to be thrown right away. You wait a little bit. Just like it happened to Lindley, it will happen to Sam Bradford, and it did.
And that is the 15th interception by the Cardinals. They came into the game with the 4th most picks in the NFL. So Jeff Fisher's Rams are snuffed out by an interception by the Cardinals, and now a first down at the 20, with Arizona leading 14-7. Here's Lindley looking downfield, going there, and it's just off the fingers of Larry Fitzgerald.
You like his style, and Larry Fitzgerald said it this week. I like the fact that Ryan Lindley will push the ball downfield, and he has separation on Janoris Jenkins. Lindley tries to drill that ball in, a little lofting of the ball, and let Larry Fitzgerald go get it.
So Peterson said, oh so close to a catch and a big gain. Instead, 2nd and 10. Deanie Wells, who has 2 touchdowns and leaps his way to within 3 yards of a first down. Good block by Anthony Sherman, the fullback, on the gain of 6.
We always talk about manageable third downs, but that run right there, what it does, it makes life a lot easier on a rookie quarterback. You're in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. The defense is all of a sudden thinking, are they running, are they passing? And so it's not easy to pin your ears back if you're Chris Long and you're Robert Quinn or Eugene Sims. You got to be kind of on your heels, not knowing what the offense is going to do.
3rd and 4. Tight formation. Now Hausler goes in. 3 receivers to the right side, and the pass out on the flat, but Hausler wasn't looking. And for that matter, neither was Quinton Michael. So 4th down, and Dave Zastadil will come in and kick it away. Pettis is back. Pettis returning punch today. Had returned only 1 coming into this game. Good kick by Zastadil, and Pettis inside the 25 gets by 1 defender and then goes down just shy of the 30. Well, halftime will be coming along shortly, and to find out what's on our menu, let's join Kurt Menefee.
All right, we'll get you all caught up on the scores and highlights of the Visa halftime, including the Bears being on the right side of a blowout this time. An NFC South thriller as the Falcons just beat the Bucs, and as Ryan Tannehill over Russell Wilson in a battle of rookie QBs. It's all on the Visa halftime.
And Dick, you know, you talk about Sam Bradford. We saw that last interception. People in St. Louis starting to get a little worried that maybe he's not like a guy like Peyton Manning, who's had another great day. He's a #1 pick, and he's not playing like it. 4 of 9 again today.
First down, play action. And Bradford throws it away. Good pressure by Quentin Groves. And Bradford is shaken down, knocked down. No flag had been thrown. Clean hit by Groves on Bradford.
See Groves come in on Sam Bradford and drives him to the ground, and that hurts. And Ray Horton, the great defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, we asked him to win what's critical. He said legal hits on Sam Bradford. It affects quarterbacks, the great ones like Tom Brady. It affects all quarterbacks, and they've done it again today.
And earlier in the year, we saw Ray Horton's recipe work against Tom Brady in week 2.
Absolutely, and that's one thing this defense does well. You see Kellen Clemens, the experienced backup, getting ready. They're going to have to bring Sam Bradford off, and here comes Kellen Clemens. Tough duty, but that's why you have an experienced backup.
So Kellen Clemens will come into the game in relief of Sam Bradford, who leaves here on 2nd down and 10. There's Ray Horton, the defensive coordinator. Talk about potential head coach candidates. He'd be right near the top, if not at the top. Looking one way, and Clemens, and the pass knocked down by Darnell Dockett and very nearly picked off by the big tackle.
Here comes Sam Bradford. Only gives Kellen Clemens 1 play. He's going to get back in there, and you like that. And I really like Sam Bradford as a quarterback. I'm just saying you want to start seeing some progress. And, you know, he's a really nice guy, Dick. So is Drew Brees. But come game time, Drew Brees, as Joe Vitt said last week, he wants to eat your heart out. And I'd like to see a little bit more of that from Sam Bradford.
So far, Breeze is eating out the heart of the 49ers, leading 14-7 in that game. So it's 3rd and 10. Bradford back in. And he completes the pass for the first down to Chris Gibbons. The rookie from Wake Forest moves the chains, picking up 18 yards and a first down at the 47 of the Rams.
That's what I'm talking about. You get hurt, your team needs you. Get back in there, fire a strike, and it's exactly what Sam Bradford does.
Here's Jackson. Jackson slightly gets into Cardinal territory with Rhodes and Lennon making the tackle. A pickup of 4 for Jackson. That was his 9th carry of the game. The longest run he's had has been 8 yards. And here's Danny Amendola limping as he runs onto the field, split to the right on 2nd and 6.
He limps until it comes time for the play. Then he runs by him.
Jackson, first down. So Jackson picking up the first down into Cardinal territory to the 43. Darrell Washington and Barry Richardson. Gibbons limped off the field on the last play. And let's see if there were too many men on the field. Flag is down, thrown at the 40 as Jackson carries up the middle.
Very astute by Sam Bradford. He saw the substitution going on off the field, and he snapped the ball. He's going to get the Cardinals for 12 men on the field.
Illegal substitution defense. The 12th player did not get off the field prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty will remain first down.
Good alert move, as you mentioned, by Bradford. With 2:09 remaining in the first half. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. Penalties story just about even. It'll be a first down and 5. And they'll mark it at the 37. And they're going to run the clock down to the 2-minute warning as you see Sam Bradford's numbers. 2 minutes remain in the first half. Cardinals lead the Rams 14-7, and the Rams trying to draw even before intermission. Reminder coming up, the Visa halftime report. Bears win. Atlanta now 10-1. Meanwhile, first down and 5 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ball on the 37 of the Cardinals. And there is a pass up the middle, and it's caught. Wide open is Lance Kendricks, and he scores the tying touchdown. Extra point would make it 14-14. Wide open up the middle, a 37-yard play. Bradford hits Kendricks.
And that's why you run Steven Jackson, because all of a sudden you go to play action and it's wide open, and that's a good throw by Sam Bradford. That's what you're looking for. You respond when the other team responds.
Talk about pass run ratio, even at 12-12 for the Rams. And Zerline is on to even the game. Second touchdown pass for Kendricks this year. And we're all tied at 14 with 1:53 to go in the first half. A 6-play, 71-yard drive capped here.
You watch Sam Bradford. He says we're at our best when we're running the football. You see what it does to Paris Lennon, number 51. Opens up the middle of the field. There's a strike by Sam Bradford. That's the Rams when they're at their best, executing, and that's Sam Bradford at his best. And that's that killer instinct you're looking for.
And this is a Ram team, John, that had averaged only 16 points in their last 5 games, in which they lost 4 and tied 1. A little medium-range jumper is good by Kendricks. But now they have 14 points in the game. And the way this thing is going, we know we have strong defenses on both sides. It's which team is going to get enough points to win. And that's where the little boxing match is going on as you look at the drive.
That's right. And you've seen really good moments for both offenses as well. And, you know, it's all, as we're seeing, it's on that quarterback position. When they make good decisions, when they make crisp, quick decisions, good things happen. When you don't, you're a little late in this league, bad things happen.
William Powell is back deep. Greg Zerline will kick for the Rams. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. And this is returnable for Powell. 2 yards in the end zone. And Powell will take it out shy of the 25. Well, tonight on Fox, there's plenty to be thankful for thanks to Animation Domination. So get ready to stuff yourself with all new outrageous episodes. Make it your funniest Thanksgiving weekend ever tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central on Fox. It is interesting how a lot of these 6-4 teams lost earlier, really giving other teams a chance to get into the wild card battle. Cardinals with a first down from the 23. Lindley. And it's caught by Hausler for an 8-yard gain. 4th catch of the first half for Hausler.
Dick, we visited with Ryan Lindley. We talked to him about his nerves with this first NFL start. He said, actually, I was more nervous last week because this week I got all the reps. I feel like I'm prepared.
With the first team. And there's a pass lofted. Good touch, however, it was thrown out of bounds. Trying to get it to Fitzgerald. And it'll be 3rd down and 2. Remember, Lindley started 49 consecutive games in college at San Diego State. So Ken Wisenhunt said, look, we know he has experience in that way starting games.
Yeah, experience, but you never know how it's going to translate. But he said the first day he saw him in practice at a rookie minicamp, you talked about command earlier. He went in that huddle, and he owned that huddle, and he owned it with conviction. And those are the words that his teammates talk about Ryan Lindley as well.
3rd and 2, and caught for the first down by Michael Floyd. Flag is down at the 31. In fact, 2 penalty markers now. See whether the Rams might have been offside on the play.
Offside. Defense number 90 in the neutral zone at the snap.
Michael Brockers,
declined, and the results of the
number
play,
1 pick out of LSU, offsides, declined, and a first down for Arizona.
Speaking of conviction, convicted with the hard count, and he gets another rookie, Brockers, to jump offside. So got the free first down, but goes ahead and completes it to Michael Floyd, another rookie.
First down at the 36. Still 2 timeouts remaining. Take the handoff, stepping up, and the short pass to Powell, and Powell is hit immediately by Cortland Finnegan, former Titan who played for Jeff Fisher in Tennessee, but they get nearly 10 yards, move the chains, and a first down to the 46.
Dick, you mentioned it. I thought the key to that play right there, stepped up in the pocket. These guys have strong edge rush to the Rams. You've got to work that pocket.
Roberts can't get away after the short reception, and it's Jenkins who makes the catch. Gain of 2, and a timeout called by the Cardinals with 1 timeout remaining. So Ryan Lindley and his parents, Tim and Kalen, one with binoculars, wearing the number 14 jersey. Lindley jerseys are hot, going hotcakes now.
He keeps playing like he is. They will be. They're looking. They're starving for a quarterback. And you know, Ryan, we asked him what he was thankful for. He said his health, his family, and he said, how about being thankful for this opportunity he's getting? And his parents come over from San Diego. This is a really exciting time for the young man. He's making the most. He's doing a really good job thus far.
6th quarterback that the Cardinals have used since their last playoff appearance. On 2nd down and 8, going short again, complete to Hausler. Hausler will go out of bounds, stop the clock. Very close to another first down. Give him 7 yards. Clock stopped with 41 seconds, and it'll be 3rd down and 1, so they're just shy. Quarterback sneak, and he'll get it with the 2nd effort. But the clock is running, and they've got to run something.
You like that by Tony Corrente, giving him the signal right away so that the offense can get going.
Let him go.
Lindley going to the outside, and pass is caught by Michael Floyd and gets out of bounds as well. And that's one of those dangerous passes that the Rams already diagnosed to return a 36-yard pass for a score earlier.
But he threw it quickly, and he threw it with conviction, and a really smart and heady play by Michael Floyd reaching to get out of bounds, stopping the clock with 16 seconds left.
Now the ball is at the 39. And that would be a 56-yard kick right now. Believe it or not, we have 2 field goal kickers in this game, both of whom have kicked 60 or more. Feely, a 61-yarder. This will be 2nd and 5. 1 timeout left for Arizona. And this pass good. Shoestring catch by William Powell. Powell inside the 20, and he'll go out of bounds. And now Arizona thinking perhaps of a touchdown before they need the field goal, and a gain of 22.
And I think with 7 seconds, you've got an opportunity to take 1 shot. Remember, you've got Larry Fitzgerald. As we see Powell, what a tremendous job by him, working for the yardage, but then getting out of bounds. The missed tackle by Finnegan turns into positive yards, giving the Cardinals an opportunity for 1 shot to the end zone. If not, you kick the field goal.
And they can't waste much time on this pass play. And they've got to go in the end zone.
Fitzgerald up top.
And the pass off the hands of Roberts. Pass he should have caught. And now the field goal team will come on. So the Cardinals had their 1 shot at it, and now will try to take the lead with 3 seconds left in the half.
These are all new situations you work on in practice, but if you're going to take that shot, take it to the end zone, because if he's tackled, you did have the timeout, but you don't do any really good by not just kicking the field goal right there.
Great string by Feely. This will be a 32-yard attempt, and the kick is good. And the Cardinals will take a 17-14 lead into halftime. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these messages. And we're getting ready for the start of the 3rd quarter with the Cardinals leading the Rams 17-14. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Well, a tight game in the rematch. The Rams won the Week 5 battle 17-3. And this one is a 3-point game, tight all the way around. But I know how impressed you are with what we've seen from Ryan Lindley, the rookie quarterback.
You know, the young man's played exceptionally. He made 1 bad decision, and he paid for it. It went the other way for a touchdown, but he's outplaying Sam Bradford right now, and he's got to keep doing that. Understand, he's got a good defense, and trust them. And Sam Bradford and the St. Louis Rams, I think that they picked it up towards the end. That last drive was impressive. I like that no huddle. I thought that gave them a little energy, a little juice, and Bradford has got to continue playing at that level.
The Cardinals won the toss and deferred, so they'll get the ball to start the second half, and William Powell is back to return the second half kickoff. One of these teams will end the drought. The Rams have lost 4 and tied 1. That's how long it's been since these teams have won. Over 50 days, and the Cardinals will get out to the 20, and we'll send it down to Jennifer Hale for the coach's thoughts.
Well, Dick, I asked both coaches about Lindley's debut today. Coach Ken Wisenhunt says he is very pleased, very excited about how Lindley has handled himself. He did speak with him at halftime about a few plays he thinks Lindley would want back. Now, Jeff Fisher says he thinks the Cardinals are being very smart with Lindley, allowing him to spread the ball around, make some good, easy throws. Fisher thinks if they can use some trickeration to get more pressure on him, they'll have some more success. Guys?
Thank you very much, Jennifer. First down and 10, and the handoff is to Beanie Wells, who has scored both of the Cardinals touchdowns, and he gets 5 yards on the first play. Lindley 17 of 24 for 183 yards. Talked about that one mistake, the touchdown, but Jeff Fisher was right about the way they've handled him.
Well, he's spreading the ball out, and they've had balance in their offense. The return of Beanie Wells has proved to be a good thing for the Cardinals. They're handing him the ball, and that's keeping Lindley safe as well.
William Powell in the game gets the handoff and gets the first down, still going as he spins away from a defender, gets to the 35. And Laurinaitis finally stops him after a gain of 11.
And you like this rhythm. Powell comes in to spell Beanie Wells. It had been Larrod Stevens-Howling, but Powell comes in and he's giving him some juice. And I think the thing we have to point out, this offensive line. I mean, they've given up more sacks than anybody in the league, but they've stepped up today. Potter doing a great job at the left tackle, Massey at the right tackle. Kudos to this offensive line.
Beanie Wells back in. Wells to the 40. Laurinaitis with his third straight tackle and a gain of 4.
When you come out like this and you run, your hope is, if you're the Cardinals, that all of a sudden you start getting that one-on-one matchup with Larry Fitzgerald. You go to the play action and then you throw it up top to your big gun, Larry Fitzgerald.
You know, you have to underscore your comment that you just made about the protection, which was the big issue. And right now, Lindley to this point has not been sacked by the Rams. Remember, they had 9 in the first meeting against Kevin Cobb. 2nd and 6. Now Powell is in. Out of the backfield as a receiver, makes the catch, breaks the tackle, gets the first down. So William Powell gets 9 after Jolon Dunbar failed to bring him down.
And Powell has been impressive. He had the long catch right before the half that translated into a field goal. But on this drive, both running the football and catching the football, making a big contribution.
3 catches for 44 yards. First down at the 49. And here's Powell. Stays in the game and pushes the pile for a couple.
And his commitment to the run, what I was talking about, is starting to play out. On that particular play, they brought Quentin Michael up. Larry Fitzgerald was one-on-one, so you continue to do this, then you get the favorable matchup, and you see the balance. That's been excellent. And that's what you do with a rookie quarterback. You try to make him as comfortable as you possibly can.
Fitzgerald has had 3 catches, 3 touches, that is. And this pass, and Roberts had to really prevent Quentin Michael from getting a hand in it and perhaps grabbing it away.
We heard Jennifer Hale say that Jeff Fisher says we got to muddy it up. James Laurinaitis, Cortland Finnegan in his face. If you're not getting the pressure from your front 4, which you traditionally do, well, then you got to generate some. You have to make Ryan Lindley uncomfortable, and they dial up the blitz and nearly get an interception.
And then you got Fitzgerald as a dangerous guy downfield. If you gamble that way, 3rd down and 8 from the 49, and showing blitz, flag is down. Maybe a free play here, and it's caught by Floyd, and Floyd trying to get to the first down yardage and got close, maybe within a yard. And it was Trumaine Johnson who missed the tackle on Floyd initially. See where the spot will be.
You see the offside by Quinn and or Laurinaitis.
Offside, defense number 94 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty.
And Robert Quinn was offsides, lined up in the neutral zone. That has been a common penalty we've had in this game. We have not really had a false start on those situations. And they'll mark the ball, 3rd down and short, 3rd and 3. LaRon Byrd is in motion for the Cardinals. Tight formation. Lindley, and the pass almost intercepted off the hands of Fitzgerald and Quentin Michael. And there's another flag down from upfield. Offensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 84.
You saw it with Hausler.
This penalty has been declined.
On the pass to Fitzgerald, Hausler was pushing off, and so the flag penalty is declined. And it is 4th down. And Dave Zastudil will be kicking. Going back deep is Austin Pettis for the Rams.
Of course, you want to get those first downs, but just by getting a couple of them, you flip the field position if they can pin the St. Louis Rams back right here.
Very valuable, John, in this defensive battle, and a fair catch called by Pettis at the 7. So it's a field position game, 17-14. Cardinals lead. Bradford is out to lead the Rams. Scott Wells, who had not played since the opener, out with a fractured foot. Pro Bowler last year, is at center today. Rob Turner goes back to left guard. Offensive line intact for the first time since the opener, and this is the benefit you get. Steven Jackson. Jackson in open field, and Jackson, with his head down against Kerry Rhodes, picks up huge yardage, and the Rams, starting from their 8, are now in Cardinal territory with a huge gain of 46.
And we talked about it. When you stick with the run, you start to wear down a defense, and a guy like Steven Jackson eventually is going to find the hole in that defense. He sees the cutback, he outruns the defense. Tremendous run by Steven Jackson.
And his longest rush of the year, Darrell Richardson replaces him, the rookie from Abilene Christian. First down at the 46 of the Cardinals, and here is Richardson, and he's close to another first down.
You talk about a change of pace. Darrell Richardson, a tremendous change of pace back to Steven Jackson. You call it thunder and lightning. A lot of people are down in St. Louis.
Quentin Groves is injured. Well, this is a position that has really been banged up for the Cardinals. They lost O'Brien, Schofield, Groves. They've been banged up at the left outside backer spot. That's Quentin Groves, who was shaken up, ran off on his own power, and has been replaced by Reggie Walker. Second down and 1 for the Rams, threatening here, trailing the Cardinals by 3. Play action for Bradford going downfield, and the pass is caught. Touchdown, Chris Gibbons. "37 yards, so Bradford to Gibbons, just as they did in the first meeting between these teams.
And I love that. It's 2nd and 1. Waist down, we call it in the NFL, because if you don't hit it, you go back and it's 3rd and 1. Take the shot. There's the accuracy that we know from Sam Bradford and Chris Gibbons. This guy's an explosive receiver. He goes and gets it.
A 37-yard touchdown pass. And Gibbons, the big play man now, developing. He had the longest touchdown reception of the year, 65 yards. 4 catches, 93 yards. And now the Rams leading for the first time in the game. And Greg Zuerlein looking to give St. Louis a 4-point lead. And it's 21-17, just inside 10 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. So Bradford, and you were pointing out, John Lynch, how he had started to really come alive toward the end of the 2nd quarter. Really did big time here. So Sam Bradford leading a 3-play 92-yard drive set up by Steven Jackson's 46-yard run, and then the 37-yard touchdown pass to Gibbons. Second 37-yard TD toss of the game. Hendricks the other one. And here's Powell. Gets hit and is stopped shy of the 20-yard line.
And Dick, we go back to week 5, and it was that same connection. Sam Bradford on the double move. This was a 3rd and 12 for 51 yards to the flyer, Chris Gibbons. This time it's 2nd and short, and that's a mismatch right there. You got Justin Bethel, who's kind of a hybrid safety corner, on Chris Gibbons. This time 37 yards, and Sam Bradford says, "You keep giving me the matchup, I'll take it."
Rams haven't won since that victory in week 5. First down and 10. Ryan Lindley, under pressure from Michael, gets away and completes the pass to Andre Roberts, and a first down. So instead of a sack, Lindley completes an 11-yard pass for the first down.
Now here's something you've got to be impressed. They start bringing the blitz like they said they would, and he eludes it. He works the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and gets a positive gain. Very nice work in the pocket by Ryan Lindley.
And he's got the size, 6'3", 232 pounds, which saved him there. 1st and 10. at the 30. And the handoff is to Beanie Wells. And Wells will be knocked back for a loss of 1 as we check in with Kurt Menefee in a game break. Kurt.
All right, Saints and Niners. Now Drew Brees will throw high, intended for Marcus Colston. Ball bounces around right into the hands of Dante Whitner. 42 yards later, it's good for 7. Second interception return for a score by this Niners defense today. That's the difference so far. 28-14 in the third quarter. Nick and John.
And a huge lead for the 49ers on the road with Kaepernick at quarterback.
That's an impressive win if they go in there and get it, because the Saints are a hot team.
Second down and 11. Pass is intercepted, thrown right into the hands of Craig Dahl. And Dahl inside the 30, breaks a tackle, and Dahl spinning his way close to the 10. So Craig Dahl, who made a maybe touchdown-saving tackle on Peterson on a kick return, this time intercepts a pass and runs 38 yards on the throw intended for Larry Fitzgerald.
And I tell you, you don't think it's tough to be a quarterback in the NFL. Ryan Lindley having a terrific football game, but he's made a couple mistakes and both have come back to bite him. This one, he's looking for his great receiver Larry Fitzgerald. Clearly another miscommunication. Fitzgerald goes over the top of the safety. Lindley tries to drill it, and Craig Dahl steps in front of him.
And Lindley knows it. First down. Here's Jackson. Steven Jackson wrestled down by Paris Lennon after a gain of about 5. Well, the Rams defense did not get any takeaways for 5 straight weeks. Actually was 5 games, no takeaways. And today, 2 interceptions.
We asked Jeff Fisher the keys to defense in this game. He said, we've got to force some turnovers. Well, they have.
Second down and 6. Ball is at the 8. And there is Jackson, and he's going to get close. Stop at the 1. Steven Jackson, and a flag is down, thrown at the 6.
Holding offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Roger Saffold, the left tackle, holding. And those penalties, when you get that close, John, when you're knocking at the door and now move back, really can sometimes come back to haunt you.
Well, and this is just what Steven Jackson was talking about. He says it seems like at the most inopportune times we get our penalties and we get in that red zone, and there you see Saffold in his second game back. He gets a handful of David Carter. The positive thing, though, you're starting to see Steven Jackson wear down this Arizona defense.
Second down and 16. Ball back at the 18. Gibbons lining up to the top of your picture. Bradford has the ball knocked away and recovers and goes down. And so it was Quentin Groves, who was shaken up moments ago, came back into the game and almost forced a fumble.
Quentin Groves, just pure speed rush. He's going to get by Richardson, then go get that football, and a very alert play by Sam Bradford to go pick up that football and actually almost get back to the line of scrimmage.
Alert play by Bradford. Good aggressiveness by the Cardinals. Now it's 3rd and 18. Ball back at the 20 now. Darrell Richardson. And Richardson is hit by Darrell Washington, who penetrates and makes the tackle. 3-yard gain, bringing up 4th down. So now it's a field goal try, and that's where the penalty really hurt St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely, but a smart call there. I like that. I know fans at home are dying. 3rd and 18, and you're going to run the football, but really tough in condensed space like down here in the red zone to try to force a football, play for the field goal, get points, make it a 1-touchdown game.
This will be a 35-yard attempt by Greg Zuerlein, the rookie from Missouri Western. And Zuerlein hooks it, and the kick is no good, so they don't even get 3 out of it. And the holding penalty against Roger Saffold when they were on the 2-yard line. And the Rams come up empty, and the score remains 21-17 St. Louis. Well, the Rams miss an opportunity to increase their lead. We want to remind you to call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game. Cardinals ball from the 25. Lindley, good block in front. And Lindley taking off and will go down and will end up losing a couple. Rocky McIntosh making the stop.
I tell you one thing, Jeff Fisher was true to his word of bringing more heat to try to muddy it up for Ryan Lindley. They bring the heat with Laurinaitis, and here comes the rest of the posse. And Brockers goes ahead and pulls Lindley down, but they're bringing more pressure. And really interested to see how Ryan Lindley, the first time he threw that interception, he responded very well. Can he once again?
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. We'll hand off to Beatty Wells, who slips. No gain. Kurt Menefee with another game break.
And the Saints with another touchdown. Drew Brees finding Jed Collins on a 2-yard score. Brees has 3 touchdown passes. He also has 2 interceptions that San Francisco returned for touchdowns. So all kinds of fireworks going on right now. 28-21 Niners. Dick and John.
All right, thank you, Kurt. Thank you very much.
You wish you could. Ken Wisenhunt probably wishes he could show that to Ryan Lindley. Even Drew Brees throws interceptions, but he comes right back.
New Orleans trying to get to 6 and 5. Tampa Bay lost. They would be even if the Saints can come from behind. Meanwhile, 3rd and 11. Lindley stepping up, and it's tipped. And Powell, the intended receiver, the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. So 4th down coming up, and Dave Zastudil will come in to kick. And the Cardinals could be looking at a good field position. Austin Pettis back deep.
Really nice job by the St. Louis Rams defense. That time they show the pressure, they bluff out of it, and then they tip the pass at the line of scrimmage.
Pettis at the 27 gets taken down. And a superb special teams play by Justin Bethel. He too a rookie on this young Cardinal team. But the Rams defense cranking it up and leading by 4. Rams leading 21-17. Bradford has picked up his game, as John pointed out. Steven Jackson 9 yards away from 100. Chris Gibbons 4 catches, including a 37-yard touchdown catch. 2 37-yarders for scores thrown by Bradford today. Here's the pitch to Darrell Richardson. Richardson breaks off a tackle and gets 8 yards.
That's good, tough running. I mean, that's something you expect to see more out of Steven Jackson, but this young man, Darrell Richardson, averaging over 5 yards a carry this year. He's got a burst to him, but right there shows some physicality. Gets hit hard, but keeps those legs churning.
7th round pick. Yes, you can find good ones on the 7th round from Abilene Christian. 2nd and 2. Stays in the game, does Darrell Richardson. And he gets the carry and gets the first down. Richardson has the longest run from scrimmage this year for the Rams. 55 yards, gets 6 here.
The thing he has to be very cognizant of is not fumbling. He fumbled last week versus the New York Jets, trying to get some extra effort. And when you show that in this league, defensive teams start going after the football. Have to hold on to the football. Ball security, a premium right now for the Rams.
John, interesting how the Rams have gotten off to quicker starts, slow down. This has been the opposite. They were down 14-7, and they have picked it up. 1st and 10 at the 42. Gibbons in motion. Play action. Bradford getting a rush. And will throw it out of bounds before he runs out of bounds. And it was Darnell Dockett chasing him. You know, it's interesting. You think that the Cardinals look like they're wearing down a little bit. You look at time of possession, where the Cardinals have an advantage of 7 minutes over the Rams. Surprising.
Yeah, but I think it's the style, it's the physicality that the Rams are playing with that's starting to wear down this defense. But this is a good defense, and I expect them to respond as well.
2nd down and 10. Fake to Richardson. Bradford getting away from trouble. And the pass incomplete. It's out of bounds. And it was intended for Brian Quick. Another one of those young receivers that Jeff Fisher talked about.
See David Carter right here going to break through this offensive line, and a really good job by Sam Bradford eluding the rush, setting his feet and giving Quick a chance on the reception.
So now 3rd down and 10, and the crowd is in full throat. And Bradford's pass incomplete. And the Cardinal defense stops the Rams here. In the last possession by St. Louis, they stopped themselves with a penalty after they got to the 2-yard line. And now it's the Arizona defense that puts the clamps on.
Well, good scouting from the Rams, because they roll to the right, and sure enough, the pressure comes from the left. Problem when you roll, you kind of limit your opportunities because you only have half of the field. You only have really a one-man route, and Patrick Peterson was all over that one route.
Johnny Hecker will punt, and Patrick Peterson, ever dangerous, back at the 10. Beautiful kick. Peterson at the 10. And no margin, and he gets buried. That was Rocky McIntosh. Cardinals ball when we return. I want to remind you that college football's biggest championship games return to Fox Friday. The Pac-12 championship live in prime time as the UCLA Bruins, ranked 17th, take on the 8th rated Stanford Cardinal, my partner's alma mater. Saturday, it's the Big Ten championship. 14th ranked Nebraska battles Wisconsin. The Pac-12 and Big Ten championships only on Fox. First down at the 22 for the Cardinals, who trail the Rams by 4. Ryan Lindley, kind of off balance, throws another interception to Janoris Jenkins. Ran the first one in for a touchdown and gets another. And it looked like he was off the back foot on that throw, and Jenkins has returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns for the Rams.
Remember at halftime, I said he's off to a tremendous start. He's got a good defense. He's got to trust that defense. And when you make throws like that, you're hurting your entire team. Now, Jeff Fisher and the St. Louis Rams, you got to credit them because they came out with the intention of bringing more pressure in form of the blitz. They brought it once again, and it's affecting Ryan Lindley.
So Jenkins with 2 interceptions, and that's 3 interceptions in the game for the Rams. And Jenkins now with 3 interceptions on the year. Greg Zuerlein with the extra point. And it's 28-17, a 39-yard return of interception for a touchdown, the second of the game for Jenkins.
You see the pressure come. They're coming with 2 guys off the corner. That forces him to leave the pocket, but you just can't throw off the back foot like that. And yes, you want to get the ball to Larry Fitzgerald, but you can't force it. Again, Janoris Jenkins on the spot. Ryan Lindley really has to respond right now. And you talk about turnovers. Haven't had one in 5 weeks, excuse me. And when they come in bunches. That's the 3rd interception for the St. Louis Rams.
Even Jeff Fisher saying, a lot of those non-turnovers we were able to get were deflections that, or right back to the other player, and some of the ones that we turned over were just ones that sometimes they're deflections and bad breaks.
Yeah, they hadn't been getting their bounces. But I tend to think that you make your breaks, you make your bounces by being in the right place at the right time, and today the Rams have been there, and it's paid off.
So 28 points put up by the Rams. And that is the second most points they have scored this year. They had 31 against the Redskins in week number 2. Of course, 12 of them come from the defense. William Powell returning this kickoff. And a good play by Quentin Pointer, making the special teams tackle.
See Ryan Lindley had a ton of rhythm early in the game, was throwing the football, was on point. led the touchdowns like the one to Beanie Wells. But here's the bad. You throw late in this league, and Janoris Jenkins and defenders in this league will make you pay, and Janoris Jenkins has.
Cardinals from the 16. And the handoff is to Beanie Wells. Wells with a big first half, scoring 2 touchdowns, but it's been a quiet afternoon for Arizona, and the turnovers by Lindley, who's impressive in the first half. 3 interceptions have really hurt him, and the Rams are up by 11. There's the contrast.
And you really credit this defensive staff. I keep talking about it, but Jeff Fisher said it to our Jennifer Hale. We're going to start bringing some pressure on this young man and see how he handles that. They have, and he hasn't handled it well.
2nd down and 8.
Gotcha.
Lindley goes underneath to Hausler. Hausler with his 6th catch of the game. He leads the Cardinals. Finnegan hits him immediately. And a career high for Hausler, his 6th catch of this game. Played at a small school in Boca Raton, Florida, Florida Atlantic University. I've even scouted that school. That's how much I do my homework. Checking out colleges. 3rd down and 1. And here's Wells, and he stopped him. Appears to be shy of the 1st down by a good yard.
And this is the conundrum that you get put in as if you're a head coach or an offensive coordinator. You have a rookie quarterback, and you want to make it safe for him. But on a 3rd and 1 and a long one, you're running the football instead of throwing it, maybe because you lose some confidence in the young man.
Ken Wisenhunt has shown that he's had the quick trigger in many instances. Remember last week as Pettis goes back. John Skelton came out with a 13-0 lead after he missed Fitzgerald open in the end zone. And he came in with Lindley, and now starting Lindley here. Zastadil will punt. And a fair catch called for by Pettis at the 23. 14 seconds remain. And it's been interesting, John, about the Cardinals and the fact that they haven't been able to really find a quarterback since Kurt Warner.
Well, and that's what happens when you lose a great one like that. I live in Denver, and they're still looking for the guy. Well, they finally found him, and we'll see him next week in Peyton Manning. But it's been a long time, and the Cardinals, they haven't. This is their 6th guy since Kurt Warner, and they haven't found anyone like him. But at some point, you got to move on. You got to adjust. You've seen a lot of good from Ryan Lindley. Unfortunately, you've seen some real bad stuff as well.
Steven Jackson in the game gets a couple, and that should end things in this 3rd quarter as the St. Louis Rams, who are down 17-14 at halftime with 2 big touchdowns. End of the 3rd quarter. 28-17, the Rams lead. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a break from your local Fox station. We start the 4th quarter, and there you see the Rams, who fell behind for the first time in 3 games. The total yardage difference in the 2nd half. Steven Jackson with the run, so the Rams scoring 14 points in the 2nd and 3rd quarters. Jackson getting 5. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And those 5 yards look rather unremarkable, but that's unbelievable yardage on a 2nd down. Now you set up a 3rd and 2, and you got a lot of options at your disposal if you're Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator for the Rams.
Dick Stockton, John Lynch, Jennifer Hale here in Glendale, Arizona. Rams lead by 11, 3rd down and 3, and they go to Steven Jackson, and he's not going to get there. And it'll be 4th down, and Johnny Hecker will come in to kick.
We think.
Well, here's what happened the last time when Hecker came in to kick.
Well, it looks like a run-of-the-mill punt. And he punts, and then, oop, there goes that hamstring. And, you know, I love punters, but come on now. We're just punting the football, and the hamstring starts to go. And so you go off to the sidelines, and you get all kinds of trainer attention. We got to get him some water. It's hot in Arizona, but we're indoors. We're air-conditioned. You punt 3-4 times a ball game, and you need all that water so you don't cramp. Are you kidding me?
Well, you worked up a sweat. Come on. Peterson is back, and Hecker will kick it away. You talked about special teams. The Cardinals really need Some good special teams here, but that kick goes out of bounds. They don't want to take any chances with Peterson. So Hecker, who's been really a good kicker as a rookie.
What a gutty effort. That takes guts.
Cardinals trailing the Rams by 11. They'll start this drive from the 24. Beanie Wells is the running back. Wells has gained 49 yards on 17 carries today. But Lindley, the rookie, looking to throw, looking for a receiver, has one downfield, and it's Rob Hausler. And the pass is incomplete. So we've been chronicling Johnny Hecker, a little grimace right there, but I wonder if you underestimate Johnny Hecker a little bit, Mr. Lynch.
Well, Johnny Hecker, you know, that valiant effort, and then he's going to get a lot of appreciation. I mean, there's Willis Reed, and then there's Johnny Hecker. One of the tough moments in sports, getting back out there and punting.
You know,
and then you rub it. We're just joking, Johnny. Great job.
No, he's been a great asset. 2 rookie kickers for Jeff Fisher. 2nd down and 10. But we like to have some fun once in a while. Doesn't matter at whose expense. Here's Roberts, and Roberts gets it out to the 30-yard line, and time for a game break. Let's join Kurt Menefee again.
Well, this won't surprise you. Baltimore in another low-scoring game. Joe Flacco hooks up with Dennis Pitta, 4-yard score. Their first offensive touchdown in 8 quarters. They're still down by 3 late at San Diego. Nick and John.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. And here in Glendale, the Rams lead 28-17. Cardinals trying to fight back early in the 4th quarter. Plenty of time. 3rd down and 5. Fitzgerald lining up to the left. Pass, however, going to the right. And going to bounce and go out of the end zone. So the crowd displeased. Mr. Lindley, Brian, had a good first half, struggling big time in the second.
And you watch the left corner. They got his game plan. He's throwing quick. Well, we're not going to let him throw quick. And Ryan Lindley actually makes a good decision, because that one might have gone the other way had he thrown it. And Andre Roberts says, where's the illegal contact? Problem was, it was inside 5 yards.
Lindley now 21 of 35, 216 yards, 3 interceptions. Dave Zastadil will be kicking to Austin Pettis. Pettis backing up inside his 20. And he is tackled at the 27. So the Rams get it back, and Bradford has an 11-point cushion. This Tuesday, laugh your box off with 4 of the most critically acclaimed comedies on television. Don't miss an all-new night with Raising Hope, Ben and Kate, New Girl, and The Mindy Project. 4 different comedies, same Fox attitude. Steven Jackson, who's gone over the 100-yard mark, picks up 9 more here. So the all-new night Tuesday starts at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Steven Jackson now with 108 yards, including a 46-yard burst that set up a Ram touchdown. 33rd career 100-yard game, 2nd this year.
Dick, you mentioned that last week versus the Jets, they threw 44 times. Sam Bradford was the first to admit, we aren't built at this point to be able to go back and throw 44 times. They're not solid enough up front. This is more their formula. Balance on offense, a lot of Steven Jackson, and then going up top to guys like Givens on the play action.
False start. Offense, number 59. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And it's the left guard, Rob Turner. Turner has been the center, moved to left guard where he started the year. And of course, Scott Wells coming back. Not played since the opening game. Former Packer coming back from a fractured foot. 2nd down and 7. First false start we've had in this game. 2nd and 7. They give it to Jackson again. Jackson close to the first down. So Wells back, and the offensive line is intact. And Jennifer Hale has more on the great story of Scott Wells.
Yeah, Dick, Thanksgiving is always an emotional time for Scott Wells and his wife, Julie. Thanksgiving Day 2005, they lost twin boys, Deacon and Maddox, and it's been on their heart to adopt 2 young boys ever since. This preseason, that dream came true. They found 2 orphans in Uganda that they wanted to bring home. The one catch, one of the little boys had a sister. So take a look. As you can see from the pictures, they brought all 3 children home. That makes a total of 6. 3 3-year-old boys. That'll keep you busy. And if that's not amazing enough, Julie plans to homeschool all of them, guys.
That's a great story. Thank you, Jennifer, especially on this Thanksgiving weekend. Very poignant. Well, they brought out the measuring sticks, and they are shy, so it'll be 3rd down and short. Darrell Richardson comes in. Here is the tattoo for Africa. 3rd down and 1. Rams, it's always great when you have that offensive line back intact. And here's Steven Jackson, 1st down, burst through, and Jackson crosses midfield. And Kerry Rhodes, the free safety, brings him down. And Jackson continues a great game. 18 yards on this play.
And Dick, you talk about having that offensive line back. Look at that hole. You give Steven Jackson a little, he'll take a lot. And this offensive line has played well. Scott Wells at the center of it. Steven Jackson running hard today, per usual.
129 yards for Jackson, and he's averaged 7.2 yards per carry. This is vintage Steven Jackson.
Jeff Fisher said it. He hasn't played enough. You're going to see more of them, and we sure enough have, and it's proved valuable for the Rams.
And the pitch is to Darrell Richardson, and Richardson gets hit. Talking to Steven Jackson, he made the playoffs in his first year, not since. And we know Larry Fitzgerald, both of these great stars in their 9th year, frustrated. And Jackson said, I've talked to Larry Fitzgerald about this, and we thought that we just have to show up and win. And how little we knew. We've eaten those words, and we've come to realize that it's not about individual numbers and stats. It's the true love of the game. They want to get the ring, they want to get into the playoffs, but they know it's never automatic.
2 superior players who put team first. They've gone through some tough times, but you got to believe that these guys are going to persevere and come out on top.
On 2nd and 5, Richardson is pushed back dramatically by Dan Williams. They'll mark the loss at 1 yard on the play. So there are the 2, Jackson and Fitzgerald. One was picked 24th overall, the other the 3rd. Their numbers coming into this game.
And both terrific, superior players. I played against both of them. Great players on the field, great people off the field, great leaders of their team. Guys that you like to put out at the forefront of this league and all the great things that it stands for.
3rd down and 6 at the 45. Bradford gets time, and the pass caught by Gibbons, and he has a 1st down inside the 25, and the Rams threaten. It's been all St. Louis here in the 2nd half of this game. And a pickup of 21 on that pass.
And I tell you, ever since I gave Sam Bradford his little pep talk in that 2nd quarter, he's come on and he's playing good football. But this is what he's capable of. This is why I was so excited about his rookie year. Now, to give fairness to Sam Bradford, he's playing with his 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. The talent's not completely set around him, but if he just keeps progressing, I think this guy's going to be one of the elite guys in the National Football League.
And that's quite a testimonial as Jackson gets a couple, and Gibbons over 100 yards in receiving, 5 catches, 115 yards, and this is Bradford. Now he's only thrown 5 passes, and a flag is thrown right at the line in the 2nd half of this game. But he's made it count.
He certainly has.
At the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 96, grabbing the player's face mask and jerking him into the ground.
Ronald Talley, who played well last week in the losing cause against the Falcons. And he'll mark some more yardage off, and frustration setting in for this Arizona team.
Well, they're starting to get physically The Rams are imposing them their will, and that's what happens. Discipline starts to break down when you are getting run through, really, and that's what's happening right now. And you have to credit the Rams. They've brought it in this second half, and they've turned their game around in their favor.
First down at the 11. Jackson to the 8.
You start watching these Cardinal defenders, particularly the defensive line, in between plays, the hands on the hips. These guys are tired, and you see the total yards in the first half. Not much for St. Louis. Second half, it's starting to come, and Arizona was very explosive in the first half. Nothing in the second half.
Ninth play of the drive. Ball is at the 8. And here's Jackson again up the middle, not to be denied, and Jackson should have a first down and make it 1st and goal. Steven Jackson, and a perfect scenario in this game for him.
He said it. You want to wear down a defense. When you start running through arm tackles, that's what you've done. You've worn down a defense, the second, the third, the fourth effort.
Number 72.
This guy's a tremendous football player.
He does not get the first down, so it'll be 3rd and inches. Wayne Hunter comes in as an extra offensive lineman for the Rams on 3rd and inches. Here is Jackson, and he'll be knocked back. What a great tackle by Kerry Rhodes, the free safety. And that's how close the Rams had previously to a first down. They don't get the first down and the touchdown. Now it'll be 4th down. They're going to measure, though, see where they are. Rhodes, much smaller player against the bigger Jackson, wrestled him down. And it's talk about inches. How about an inch? Maybe 2 at the most.
You know, and this is interesting because you're at an 11-point ball game right now. You kick the field goal, you got a 2-touchdown score. And I think even though it's inches, I think you got to take the points right here. Now, Jeff Fisher is and always has been a gambler. And that's what Chris Long says we love about the guy. He's not afraid to take chances. I think right now, though, the prudent thing to do is to kick the field goal. They could be trying to draw the Cardinals off and get a free first down. We shall see.
So 4th and inches, Bradford remains out there. John makes a good point because you know the Cardinals need to be aggressive defensively here. Fisher is ready to call a timeout.
Timeout. St. Louis.
And a timeout. Fisher's Rams right now in control of this game, leading 28-17. And welcome back to Glendale. The Rams call a timeout and send in Greg Zuerlein and the field goal team. As John had talked about, the prudent thing to get the 3 and make it a 14-point game. This will be a 19-yard attempt. Zuerlein's kick is good. 19-yard field goal by Zuerlein. And that is his first field goal of the game. And Steven Jackson, Johnny Hecker took a lot of water. Here's a guy who really needs it. 139 yards today. Now. Well, it's been a frustrating day for Larry Fitzgerald. I want to remind you the OT after the game to bring you up to date on the highlights and the stories today in this NFL campaign. With a rookie quarterback as Powell will down it in the end zone. Cardinals will take it down by 14 points with 5:27 to go, and Lindley coming out. And of course, first half, John, we like his poise, And, you know, the 3 mistakes, really, that's been the story.
Yeah.
We've seen it before with rookie quarterbacks.
And I talked about it earlier, the nature of this position. He did a lot of really good things today. He made 3 bad decisions. You make 3 bad decisions in this league, it's going to hurt you. And it did for Ryan Lindley. I think he showed a lot of promise today as well.
Lindley flush from the pocket, and the pass is caught by Roberts for a gain of 5. Saw Kevin Cobb on the sideline, and sidelined with a rib injury, and Ken Wisenhunt said that there's a chance that he could return next week against the Jets on the road. And here is Hausler. He gets the first down out to the 32. Laurinaitis on the tackle, so it's been a career game for Hausler with his 7th reception.
Really incredible what's happened to these Cardinals. I mean, they were 4-0 and beating good teams. The Seattle Seahawks were in there. The New England Patriots on the road. Philadelphia early. In Philadelphia, we know what's happened to them, but early on, they were thought to be one of the better teams in the league. Miami, who's shown that they have something to them. Those are the teams they beat. It wasn't just bad teams they were beating. They beat good teams, and now the skid started.
And there's a catch by Roberts, and Roberts gets free, and a first down into Ram territory to the 43. Quentin Michael making the tackle, so a 5-yard pass to Powell, and now a 21-yard throw to Roberts. So a 2-touchdown game, 4:06. Cardinals have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They're still fighting, and there's another completion to Floyd, and he'll get out of bounds. And getting another first down at the 22.
I tell you, you just watch some of these throws, and that's what Ken Wisenhunt told us. He said this guy makes some wow throws, and there have been a number of throws that have been wow. That's a long throw delivered with good velocity, accuracy. The play before to Roberts, he threw off his back foot. He's got something to him. He's got arm talent. As they say, it's now the decisions and seeing things that you only get with experience.
So a first down, and here is Lindley, and Lindley gets rid of it, and it's caught by LeRon Byrd, and Byrd is hit hard at the 20-yard line. And the Rams coming on the field, Laurinaitis and Dunbar with the hit. Tough to hold on to this one after this kind of contact, but he did.
And you know what? You know, a lot's made of this, and they eventually throw a flag. But to me, he's not a defenseless player at that point. He's caught the ball 2 feet down.
Does he have possession? No, it came out.
And that throw, what I don't like about the penalty is that it came after the player stayed down. And so if you're an official, you can't wait and say, all right, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? And if he's hurt, I'm going to throw the flag. He waits till he sees what happens, till the crowd has a little reaction, then throws the flag about 10 seconds late.
Dunbar. Right now he has it.
Defense number 55 with a hit to the head.
And they're going to call Laurinaitis with a hit to the head and a personal foul.
It was on Dunbar, actually, Jolon Dunbar. And I understand what the league's trying to do, but at some point he's no longer a defenseless player. And it's tough, it's physical. People are saying it's helmet to helmet. There's no penalty if the guy becomes a runner. That's not a penalty by the rules right now. And, you know, you just question at some point, that's the game of football. And at what point do you let guys play?
Good point. From the 14, Lindley's pass dropped by Roberts. And you know, when you've got a great weapon on your team like Larry Fitzgerald, who catches 1 pass last week in the loss to Atlanta for 11 yards, 3 catches for 31 yards today. The longest reception was 13. We know they tried to get it to him. Lindley tried to get it to him on at least 2 of those interceptions.
Yeah, maybe too much, you know, and that's certainly something that you could see why it happened. You have this tremendous talent, one of the top talents at wide receiver in the league. You're going to try to force the football, but that's dangerous when you do.
And this pass is incomplete, thrown in a crowd up the middle, and was deflected at the line. So they've gone to Fitzgerald 9 times in this game, and he has caught 3 passes.
I think the thinking, if you're Ryan Lindley right here, 3rd and 10, This is 2-down territory. So Ken Wisenhunt or Mike Miller, the offensive coordinator, you would hope be in his ear and say 2-down territory. Don't have to get it all right here. Let's not force the football. Take half. Let's get half, and then you got 4th down as well.
3rd down and 10 from the 14, and the swing pass complete to Powell. Powell is down at the 10 by Trumaine Johnson. A 4-yard gain. Under 3.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. It'll be 4th down and 6. Rams trailing by 14 points. Trying to end a 6-game losing streak. One of these teams will end a long drought in this one.
There it was. You got almost half of it back. Now 4th down. Have to convert.
And there is the pass, and it's Fitzgerald. It's up in the air, and it's going to be picked off by Laurinaitis. James Laurinaitis. It was a deflection. They tried to get it to Fitzgerald on a pass out in the flat. He would have had to catch it and then run with defenders in front of him. Very tough situation to convert.
Yeah, and I understand this guy's a tremendous player, but 4th and 6, you got to go get 6 yards. Don't throw the football behind the line of scrimmage. The ball's tipped at the line, then tipped by Fitzgerald. Not Lindley's fault. Not sure I really like the play call right there.
4th interception of the game. Chris Long first deflected it. Then you saw Fitzgerald knock it up in the air into the hands of Laurinaitis, who ran it 18 yards upfield. And so James Laurinaitis, and an outstanding defense for the Rams. The first interception of the season for Laurinaitis. Shutting out the Cardinals here in the 2nd half. And Peterson drags down Jackson after the handoff. And we'll have a timeout called.
Timeout.
By the Cardinals, their first.
Arizona. This is their first. This is a 30-second timeout.
You know, and you talk about the St. Louis Rams, and you know, one thing Jeff Fisher talked about, this was a 2-14 team last year. There's 24 players from last year's opening roster, the 2011 opening roster, that are no longer in the game of football. So he wasn't under any grand illusions that they're there right now. Remember, because of the RG3 trade, this is a team that's got 1st-round draft choices in the next 2 years, 2 of them. And so it's a team that can get healthy in a hurry. Not as far as people think. Probably not going to happen this year, but they're getting better, and you see the plan being executed.
And you talk to the Ram players, they'll say that this is a team that likes to have fun. There are characters on the club. And after spending a year off, Jeff Fisher said, I wanted this team to have fun when they went to work. And they are. As this time Jackson stopped for a loss of 1.
This is their 2nd.
So the Rams remaining schedule, San Francisco and Seattle are their division games, and this is a team that has not lost in the division this year. They will go to 3-0-1 in the NFC West, and their tie was against the 49ers, and I think that opened up a lot of eyes, even though it was a game that they had a chance to win. Tying San Francisco on the road was huge.
And you know, Jeff Fisher doesn't hesitate for a second when you ask him about Sam Bradford. He said, this guy's the real deal. He's going to be a great one. And there is no wavering in their belief. I agree with them. You've got to continue to build around him. I think you've got to, in those 1st-round draft choice, as you see Richardson, some studs up front, you know, because if you want to make a guy like Sam Bradford look great, surround him with offensive linemen.
Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 3rd down.
Scott Wells holding will nullify that run.
Scott Wills right in the middle on Dan Williams, and going to get a handful right as he starts to get away from him, and that is the hole that sprang Daryl Richardson, but ref's right on top of it.
2:33 to go in the 4th. Steven Jackson with 139 yards on 24 carries, averaging nearly 6 yards a carry, and a huge 46-yard run. That proved pivotal for the Rams early on when the game was close. And Daryl Richardson with a run of about 3 yards. Kurt Menefee with a game break. Kurt.
Well, Baltimore trails San Diego 13-3 with less than 5 minutes left. They got a touchdown, and they're in here on 4th and 29. Little dump pass to Ray Rice. 3 Chargers miss. He gets a block from former Cardinal Anquan Bolden, and the first down. Set up a game-time field goal. They even it at 13. We are headed to overtime. Dick and John. Wow.
All right, Kurt. You don't often see a gain on that kind of play and that down.
Something in the air with overtime. I think 4 games last week in overtime, and here we go again. But the Rams, you know, there was a plan. We watched Darrell Richardson run. He ran a lot early in the year. Steven Jackson was kind of rested. You talk about the plan. That was part of the plan for the Rams, is to have a fresh and healthy Steven Jackson at the end, and it's worked.
Johnny Hecker punting, and running up will be Patrick Peterson, and he picks it up on the big hop, and here's Peterson. And Peterson going out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Cardinals are out of timeouts, trailing 31-17 with 2:19 to go in the fourth quarter.
Talk about, for the Cardinals, cornerstones to build your program on. That Patrick Peterson right there, what he gives you as a corner on defense and then special teams. I tell you, you hold your breath every time he gets near the football.
Well, the Cardinals trying to avoid a first. Only the Philadelphia Eagles of '93 and the Cardinals had won 4 and then dropped the next 6. But no one has won 4 and then dropped 7, and the Cardinals are in danger of doing just that. Here's a pass caught for the first down by Roberts outside of the 21. And Laurinaitis still grinding away. 12-yard pickup. And we're winding down to the 2-minute warning here in Glendale. 17-0 Arizona outscored in the second half of this game. We'll be back. 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter, with the Rams leading the Cardinals 31-17. Cardinals led 17-14 at the half, but Sam Bradford with judicious in his passing and the running of Steven Jackson, and a terrific defensive effort for the Rams, shutting out the Cardinals so far in the second half. Here's Lindley throwing it away, going to Fitzgerald, who today only 3 receptions for 31 yards. Arizona Cardinals headed for their 7th straight loss. 3 of their last 5 games will be on the road. Play the Jets and Seattle away. 2 NFC North games, and then they close against the 49ers, who are leading the Saints 31-21. Second down and 10. Ryan Lindley in his first NFL start, throwing the ball away to Powell, the intended receiver. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
And the Cardinal fans now letting their frustration with the quarterback position be heard and booing the young man. And he did miss a throw right there. And you do have a 2-score game, and if you could strike and strike quickly, you've got an opportunity at an onside kick. I think he's struggled. The 3 picks play heavily on your mind, and you don't want to throw another one.
3 picks that really hurt, and then the 4th interception the last time they had the ball. Here's a catch made by Floyd, stops the clock at 1:44. And right near the first down yardage. Lindley 28 of 47 for 284 yards and 4 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns. First down. 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line.
One of those interceptions, to be very fair, was tipped a number of times. Really not on him. The other 3, as we've talked about, just not good decisions, and that's the most important thing at that position, is being able to make quick, precise decisions.
Lindley will go down. Good inside rush led by William Hayes. Second time that the Rams have gotten to Ryan Lindley, in a loss of 10. Well, the Rams headed for their first road victory of the year, and will end a 5-game winless streak. Pass into the end zone. Dahl was closest to it, out of bounds. Chris Long putting pressure on Lindley that time. So it'll be 3rd down and 20.
And the thing you love about Chris Long, like all great pass rushers, is that he's relentless. And then here we are at the end of the game, 1:14 left, up by 2 scores. He's not stopping. He's going to continue to rush. He's going to continue to work his craft. And that's his DNA. That's how he's wired. And a tremendous football player that young man's become.
And he has so much hope, as many of the others, to the future of this team. You mentioned the 2 first-round picks the next 2 years. And the pass thrown underneath, and it's caught by William Powell. Powell does not get out of bounds, so the clock is going to continue to run. Fletcher making the play after a gain of 11. It'll be 4th down and 9. Big game for Chris Givens. Caught a touchdown pass in the first meeting in week 5. Givens today with a big play, and Hausler covered by Dunbar, and Cardinals will turn it over on downs, and the Rams will take over with 44 seconds. Givens, 5 catches, 115 yards, and a 37-yard touchdown catch. Steven Jackson, 139 yards rushing.
You talk about building blocks for this team. Sam Bradford at the quarterback position. Steven Jackson, he continues to look like he's got a lot left in the tank. A guy like Chris Givens. You talk about Chris Long on the defensive side of the ball, bookended by a guy like Robert Quinn. Laurinaitis in the middle. There's a lot to look forward to for these teams, for the St. Louis Rams. A lot of talent to build around.
First win in 52 days, and as we mentioned, with all of those teams losing earlier today, the Rams with 6 losses still in the fight in a big wild card scramble going on. Those of you watching the finish of this game will see bonus coverage of the finish between the 49ers and the Saints. They have about 3:40 to go in the 4th quarter there. Janoris Jenkins, the first Ram ever with 2 touchdowns on interception returns in the same game. He tied it up when they were down 7-0. Added another interception in the 3rd quarter, and the Rams win it. So the Rams win the game by a score of 31-17. The Cardinals, first in history to win 4 and then lose 7. And we'll be back to Glendale in just a moment.